Alright, so I'm going to be going through the NPC spawn platforms with you today. Ignore the Bandicam watermark. So, as you can see, you open up your menu, look up NPC in the top tools menu, and you can use the NPC spawn platforms or the spawn creator. I'm going to be going through both. So I'm going to start with the spawn platforms. So, you can see right at the top there is a beautiful pre-selected menu. Yours will be empty, but I already have a bunch of presets here. So if you want to save a preset that you made in a single player game when you're setting up an event, you can just click enter a new, you can click the plus sign and then write whatever you want, and then if you select it down here, it'll change all of your statistics, which I'm going to go through now. So you're going to want to select your NPC by going through this menu, finding it, and selecting it. So I'll go to CGI droids. We can get a friendly droid because I don't want it to shoot me. Actually, I'll just put no target on, and then I'll do hostile. So I want it to have a E5, and weapon skill, this is how accurate they are. So 4 is perfect, they'll almost always hit every single shot. 3 is medium, 2 is pretty bad, 1 is garbage, and 0 is they're not going to really hit anything. So I'm going to put mine on 4. I usually do 4 or 3, it doesn't really matter. Spawning delay. So this is how long you want the delay to be between each spawn. So if I have it spawning maximum in action 10, and it's going to turn off after it spawns 10. That's what these two mean. The spawn delay is going to be 5 seconds between each one. So it's going to take 50 seconds to spawn every single droid in this spawn platform. Now I don't have an activation for this yet, so I click platform activation, and I'll change this to 1 and 2. Alright, you can use whatever key you want for this, but I'm just going to use 1 and 2. Don't click start active, and do click use key toggles. Alright, so I'm going to put it down. It looks something like this, and if I press 1, it's going to spawn. Now you're going to have to wait 5 seconds, because I set the delay like that, and then the first one's going to spawn. There you go. Looks like he has a target on that. That's interesting. Anyway, let's take this out here. Yeah, so like I said, it's going to be red, and then as soon as you press your key to activate it, it's going to turn green. And they're going to keep spawning until they either get to the maximum, which is 10, or I disable it, and it turns red like that once again. Alright. So that's platform activation. You can also change the NPC positioning. So this is just basically pretty nice thing that allows you to prevent your NPCs getting stuck inside of each other when they spawn. So and if I set it like this and change the delay to just this fast, you're gonna see they all spawn inside of each other, and that's really not very nice. I want them all spread out. So I usually set both of these to max, so they're gonna spread out in a really pretty big area, but that's how I like them. You can see only a couple of them spawn inside of each other, and that's just because of how fast the delay is. If you set it to like 1 or 2 seconds, the plugin will find out where to put them so they're not inside of each other. Just 0.1 is too fast for it to figure out. So you can click other. Health multiplier I always have on 5. It's a pretty decent amount for clones. It's somewhere between 300 and 400 health, which is just below what we want. So it's nice to have it like that, so you don't have to keep setting the health that they spawn as, because usually they have too little health for our clones. So 5 times multiplier is usually what I have. Always spawn your platform frozen, and if you have a ton of these platforms, don't use the global squad because it can lag the server. But if you only have like 5 or 6, feel free to use it. It allows the droids to use tactics together. They figure out where to take cover, how to push, all that good stuff, so it's pretty nice. Alright, so that's the spawn platforms. I personally prefer these over the spawn creator, but really it's just going to be up to you which one you decide to use in events. So yeah, moving on to spawn creator. This one's a bit different. It has some different options. So once again, you have your presets here. I think you press that to add one. I haven't really used this much, but yeah, that's how you do it. You go through this scroll menu, a little easier to navigate, and you find what droid you want to, what NPC you want to use. So I'm going to use the battle droid again. Squad name, spawn flags, equipment. So equipment is the weapon that they're going to use. I'll look for the E5 again. Well, it's already on an Imperial weapon, so I'll just keep it as that. So weapon proficiency, this is a little bit different on this one. So once again, starting at the back, poor is the very worst, average is a bit better, obviously, so on and so forth, good, very good, perfect, like it was last time. Random's interesting because each NPC spawned has a different proficiency, so it's kind of fun to play around with. And default, which is just the normal that it spawns as. So I'd keep it on either very good, good, or perfect. If you're trying to give them a challenge, put it on perfect. So spawn delay, I already explained that with the last one. Same with these, max alive NPCs and total NPC amount. On this one, you can set it to infinite if you just go to 0, I guess. So that's pretty cool. Numpad, yeah, these are turn on and turn off, as I said before. Alright, so when you spawn it in, it's going to look like this. We want to make all of our spawn creators and platforms invisible, because we don't want our clones to know where they're going to be spawned around. So even though it looks really cool, just untoggle show effects, so it'll just be invisible. Never click start on. You can do this if you want to, if you're using either of these two NPCs. Make sure you do have the remove NPCs spawned on removal, because when we remove them, you don't want those NPCs to still hang around. Patrol points. Now these are really, really interesting. I'd suggest not using them because they've been known to be really buggy and not work very well, so I'm not even going to go through them with you guys, but if you want to figure it out, go ahead. When you use patrol points, I believe when the droids or whatever die, they drop their gun, and then clones are allowed to pick them up, so that's a little bit annoying. And they're also just really, it takes a long time to set them up, so I just use the spawn platforms if you're in a hurry or just want an easy way out, you know? So to make the spawn platforms invisible, because you don't want them to see, like I said before with the creator, they don't actually have a an option to make them invisible like it does here. So you're just going to have to use a tool. I use color, you can use whatever you want. So I go to color, and I find my color that I'm going to do. And basically you just go all the way to white, bring this down all the way to the lowest opacity, and just click it, and it'll go invisible. And then it'll still work if I press 1. See, they still spawn. It's just invisible, so they can't see. Alright, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to come to me. Yeah, thank you very much.